back in short sleeves because the weather in Georgia cannot make up its damn mind. We were cold for about a week, then we warmed up, and then we got cold, and then we warmed up. And then it's been cold but humid, so it's hot. I know we got climate change, but seriously, Georgia, make up your damn mind. Is it winter or not? This in between stuff, I don't know what it is. It's not even fall, okay? It's not even fall. Just make up your mind, please. So hello and welcome to domytriesthis. I hope you brought your cuppa. Today's coffee mug is an older mug, meaning from last year. We picked this up from Kroger last year during the Christmas season. As you can see, in fact, it was towards the end of the Christmas season, as I recall. But as you can see, we've got a nice deer cavorting on the front. The inside has nice red. It's red all the way down. We've got the beautiful red handle. It's a gorgeous little mug that I really enjoy using for the holidays. Today's tea is a relatively new favorite, and that is the Kroger Private Selection Peach Lemon Loose Tea. This has dried apples, hibiscus, natural flavors, lemongrass, blackberry leaves, chicory root, lemon peels, and dried peaches. It's a really nice tea, and I really do enjoy it. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and give her a sip, even though we know I enjoy it, and we'll go ahead and get started. I love the smell. You get that. You get the peaches, you get some of the apple. It's nice and sweet. It's a beautiful scent. Already have the peaches coming through, even though it's only been steeping for a few minutes. It's also really hot. I have it in one of those little tea balls, and so I have flecks of the tea in my actual drink. I actually don't like using those tea balls precisely because of those metal tea balls, tea steepers. Precisely because of that problem, but my Sip Spy bags have been kind of weird lately, so decided to give it a try and see if it worked. I think we're going to go back to the Sip Spy bags. But anyway, it's a really nice tea. Nice tea. So today we are doing our review of our November boxes, the Glam Bag Plus, the Boxycharm, our regular bag, and I have one item from my Walmart box. This is probably going to be the last review, as I noted in a previous video that should already be up. It should look just like this. It should already be up, that I'm going down to 2 days a week and on uploads, and the Boxycharm versus Ipsy will be being dropped, and I'm no longer going to be picking up the Glam Bag Plus or the Boxycharm as part of the products that I purchased for the channel. I am going to keep the Walmart box. I am keeping the smaller Ipsy bag. I figure the Walmart box is only $5. It's an opening. I don't usually review all that stuff, and you all seem to really love the mother-daughter Ipsy battle thing, so we're going to stick with those. But I don't know if I'm going to be reviewing anything from December's boxes, which will be my last boxes that I received. So I'm going to start with the palette that I got in my Walmart box. This is the Luna Magic Uno palette. It is a cardboard packaging. It has no mirror, and this is what it looks like on the inside. I love this palette. I was really surprised to get it, and I think I've only seen one other video where somebody actually got a palette in their box, and this is gorgeous. The colors are primarily up my alley. There's even the neutrals, like this is a gold. This is really light that it can go under my brow. This is kind of reddish, so when you take those and then these brighter colors, you've got these four in the middle that are really, really neutral, and this one isn't really neutral. It's more of a duochrome. They're very, very pretty. The colors are pretty. The formula is really nice. I'm just going to do a few of the colors on my hand. So that's that bright pink. There's the purple. There's the duochrome. There's the copper next to it. And there's the blue. So you can see that they actually perform very, very well. The colors are bright, they show up, there's no patchiness really. They apply well, they work well on my eyes. I'm actually wearing it today along with the Dominique Cosmetics palette that we got from Boxycharm, and it complements that very well. There's only a couple shadows that I haven't even used, and that would be the 3 browns in this row. I've actually used this red a little bit, even though it doesn't look like I have. Yeah, I think I actually tried to use this one at one point, but browns. I mean, browns. Me, browns. So I'm just saying, it is a really nice palette. I'm actually really impressed. This is a brand new brand. The only other things they have right now, a couple lipsticks and some lashes. I'm not into lashes. I would like to try the lipsticks at some point, but it's a brand I'm going to be keeping an eye on. I really enjoyed the palette and I'm going to be keeping it. I do recommend it. It is on the upper end of drugstore or affordable makeup, because I think it's about $24, $25 or something like that. So it's a little on the higher end for them, but it's worth it. I really enjoy it. I really think, and for the number of colors you get, 12 colors, it's a beautiful palette. So if this is available in your Walmart and you've been interested in it, I say go ahead and go for it. I don't think you'll regret it. It really works very well, and I'm very impressed. Not expecting another palette from a Walmart box ever again, but I really appreciate the fact that they sent this one. Alrighty, so let's start with from the main boxes. Let's start with the box that I think that won, and that would be the Boxycharm. And we're going to start with this Kypris Antioxidant Dew. I really love it. I mean, oh my God, I really love it. I was really surprised. I do like, I think some people have said that they really love the bottle. I think the bottle makes it look a little cheap, but it is glass. It's not ugly. It's just, to me, it makes it look a little cheap. I really wish this wasn't a $90 serum, because then I would probably buy more. You need very little of it, and it spreads easily, and it absorbs quickly and leaves my skin feeling soft and smooth underneath my moisturizer. It's perfect. And because I actually tend to go very light on my moisturizers, it actually does give me some nice help with my moisture level. And I have noticed that I'm getting, because I go so light on my moisturizer, sometimes it feels like my skin has to work to make up for the fact that I don't do a little bit more. And so by the end of the day, my skin is feeling kind of tacky and like it's got a lot of stuff on it, which in some ways it does, but it starts off the day not feeling that way. It feels soft and moisturizing, really nice. And by the end of the day, it's just, I don't know. But I have found that this seems to have helped reduce that problem. I have another serum that I'm using that also helps reduce that problem. It's a bit more affordable than this. But I really do like this, and I just really wish it didn't cost so much, because I would repurchase this. I really, really would. Recommend it if you can afford it. If you can't, like I said, I have others that I like that actually work, but I really, really enjoy this. I've had no complications from it, nothing. Just nice, soft, supple, moisturized skin, and it's a really, really nice serum. So next is the Tula sheet masks. Now, we got 2 of these. I only kept one, and I gave the other one to my daughter. That should be no surprise to any of you. This mask is on two pieces. One that covers, I should say it's broken up into 2 pieces. One that covers the top of your face, and the one that goes around your mouth. And it's made of a gel-like material. It was really kind of odd. I don't have the mask itself. I just have the packaging. It's made of a gel-like material that's sturdier than most. Like, you know, most of them come in that really thin, like, tissue paper type material. But it is just as cold and just as goopy and just as slimy as any of the others. So you all know I don't like sheet masks precisely for that reason. So this did not change my mind. I'll tell you that right now. It did fit my face well because there's not a lot of serum on the mask. It doesn't leave your face dripping wet, and what is left on the skin rubs in easily, but it didn't really absorb. It left my skin feeling very tacky and cold, and my skin really didn't feel hydrated. And I really can't say that it did much of anything other than make it more difficult to put my other products on over it. It just didn't rub out as well for some reason, or absorb for some reason. So it kind of met. Didn't change my mind on sheet masks. My skin did feel pretty good after rinsing the next morning, but that's not enough for me to spend $7 to $10 on a single mask, which is what these cost. So I used it, I tried it, I didn't like it. Sorry, bye. But you all know, you can take my sheet masks reviews with a grain of salt, right? Because I don't like them. So if you really like sheet masks, you might like that. I don't like them, so I didn't like it. Makes sense. All right, so the next on my list was this Becca highlighter. This is their Shimmering Skin Perfector Pressed Powder Highlighter in Vanilla Quartz. I love the design on this. It is beautiful. This is a gorgeous, I don't know if you guys can see the pattern on there. That is beautiful. And yes, I've been playing with it a lot. I've been wearing it a lot. Most of the stuff that I have in my stash for this month that came from my boxes tend to get put away and not kept in my drawer for me to use for the month. This probably will stay in the drawer. It's another big surprise for me. My other Becca that I had or have, I don't know if I still have it, wasn't nearly as impressive. This is a beautiful buildable highlighter that can go from subtle to high shine. My only complaint is that it does seem to emphasize my texture a little bit, but I've also found that that could be partly application. If I just rub it on, it will definitely highlight my, emphasize my texture. If I do the little round circles with a soft brush, I don't have such a big problem with that. And when I say little circles, I'll show you this with the brush. What I do is I just go on the cheekbone in very small, tiny circles and then work my way up. That way you get most of your color on the cheekbone and you get a little bit on the edges, and it's just, it seems, I saw that on a, I can't remember the name of the YouTuber now, but I saw that on a YouTuber, and it works really well for reducing the amount of texture that I get seen on my skin from highlighters, because I really do like highlighters. I just don't like, you know, all that stuff to show up. But even with the texture, when it was showing off the texture a little bit more, this is a gorgeous highlighter. I absolutely really love it. I've been reaching for it more than anything else. I think I have another highlighter in here. I know I had at least 2 highlighters in here before I got this in there, and I've been reaching for this more than anything else. It's beautiful. I love it, and I'm going to keep it in my stash for the month because it's perfect for Christmas too. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous highlighter. I'm very, very impressed with it. I've been really enjoying it a lot. So yet another big surprise were these Boxy brushes. We do not know what brand made them for Boxycharm, because it only says Boxycharm on it. So I don't know if Boxycharm is getting into their own brushes now. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. I don't know if you guys can see that on there, but it says Boxycharm. Yeah, you can see that a little bit. Just a little bit. Anyway, so we don't know who's doing them, but these were another really big surprise. I have tried paddle brushes, which are very similar to these in terms of how the heads are, only they're on a paddle, and I haven't liked them. I haven't liked the way they apply the makeup, I guess, and so I was expecting to absolutely hate these, and that's really hard for me for a brush. I absolutely love brushes in general, but I really like these, and I'm surprised by how much I like these. This one, I used it today. This one is great for applying foundation. It absorbs less of the liquid than, say, a sponge, but because the bristles are so dense, it has between like a sponge and your standard brush in terms of application. So it has closer to a sponge application than a brush application, if that even makes sense. And so it absorbs less of the liquid. It gives great coverage. It's improved the finish of some of my favorites. The smaller one works well with my more difficult bronzers. There are some bronzers that they don't work well with a softer brush. You cannot pick up enough pigment with a softer brush to get a good amount of color. And this one does a really good job of picking up stuff from bronzers that are like that, where they must be hard packed or something. I'm not sure what it is, but I have a couple of them. I have a ColourPop one. I have one that we got in our bags this month. So I have a few. You do have to be careful because while this does do that very well, it can actually give you too much color. Fortunately, all you have to do is if you feel like you've gone too heavy, just take your powder brush and buff that over it, and it should fade out any excess color that you don't want on your face. So this has been really good for using for those. I'm actually reaching for both of these more than most of the other brushes I have right now, which is interesting because I also have a couple of new brushes that you think I'd be reaching for even better. Obviously, I'm really, really pleased with these. I do intend to keep them. Like I said, it was a really big surprise. I was thinking that these would end up getting tossed, but unfortunately, the bad thing is these were a Boxycharm box availability only. So if you were interested in these, you can't buy them separate anywhere. You could probably try to find some other paddle brushes, but like I said, I didn't like paddle brushes, whereas I really like these. So I'm kind of disappointed that, in a way, these are really, really nice and I love them, but I'm disappointed that other people can't pick them up if they want them, because if you're sitting there and you're going, I really recommend these brushes, but people can't pick them up, then what's the point, right? At any rate, really do love them, really do like them, do intend to keep them, and will probably keep reaching for them first. So this is the Thunder palette, Celestial Thunder palette. Here's our colors. Cardboard packaging again. It does come with a fairly decent mirror. This is going to sound like a surprise. I'm wearing this in conjunction with the Luna palette. The two of them actually supported one another very, very well. And honestly, the Luna palette works just as well as this one, so that's telling you something. Love the color story. There was no kickback. I didn't find a lot of kickback in the shimmers. There is some kickback in the pans on the mattes. I'm not surprised. Most mattes will have some kickback. Shimmers may or may not, depending on the palette and whose palette it is. There was quite a bit of fallout, however, so I was having to brush. It does have pretty great pigmentation. They do blend well. Black matter, this one here, black matter, needs some building. And this one here, I believe, is more of a topper. Eternal Light is more of a topper, but the other colors don't take much work at all. Like I said, I used them today. If I'm missing stuff on the middle of my eyes are being funky again. But I did use the pink. I topped it with a little bit from the Luna. This is the orangey color here on the outside. The blues and the greens. This green is underneath here, and then I have the blue from the Luna. And then I mixed this color with the Luna Gold to get under my brow. So it's a beautiful palette. It does work very well. I'm very impressed by it. I have two colors I haven't played with, and that would be these two, really. I don't know. But 2 out of 8 shades, I can live with that. I will probably get to them at some point. Do apply well. They do have the pigmentation. They do seem to do better with a firmer brush, I can talk, rather than one of the fluffier, softer brushes. They just don't seem to pick up well, especially the shimmers don't pick up as well on those kinds of brushes. They don't stand up to my eyes very well. That's why I warned about the inner corner. This color here is on my inner corner, and I've already had to touch it up like twice. So they don't stand up to my eyes very well, and only the shimmers really repair, though they don't stay long, unfortunately. Even the shimmers don't stay long even after being repaired. This is pretty much typical of most higher-end brands for me. There are very few brands that I can get that will stand up to my eyes, repair, and stay a bit longer after repaired, even if I've sprayed everything with a setting spray. So I don't necessarily make it a negative point for if you're considering purchasing this particular palette. My particular eye problems, I don't see too many people have. I'm sure some people do. If you do have that issue where color just evaporates off your eyes and you need a really high quality shadow to stay in place, something with a lot of pigment, something that can repair well, I wouldn't recommend this. But for anybody who does not have those problems, this is fine. I think you'll enjoy it if these are colors that are up your alley. The mattes are not necessarily the best on the market, but they do work fairly well. I'm going to grab some colors here to show you. Oop, missed one. Okay, they're not in any order, but as you can see, that's black matter right there. You can see how you would need to build that up to get a bit more color on it. But, you know, and as you can tell, if you look at these have more patchiness on the swatching than these do. But I have found that swatching doesn't necessarily tell the whole story of a eyeshadow palette. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. Like I said, they're on my eyes. You got to see the look. It's not terrible. They're still there. They need primer to work. A lot of eyeshadows need primer to work appropriately or to work well. And they do have staying power after a wet wipe. So they're going to stay on your eyes when they're on there as long as you don't have my issues. Anyway, so Boxycharm, honestly, Boxycharm won for me for November. I'll just say that right now. It was a beautiful box. The items in the box, I loved almost, at least I'm keeping all of them. Yeah, I'm keeping all of them. So I was actually pretty happy with my Boxycharm by quite a bit. And very pleased with the Boxycharm from last month. I think it was the winner. So next we have the Glam Bag Plus. And one of the things I got in that was the Seraphine Botanicals Happy Hibiscus. This is the item I picked for the month. And that's only because there wasn't anything else I was really interested in. These work as a blush. I'm trying to figure out how to qualify it. This one does not work for me by itself. It is way, 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 way too pink and light. So you can see it there, but for me that is really pink. I don't like a pink like that. However, the other colors in here tend towards more of a brown. This one's got a bit of a rosy cast. And this one has a touch of a rosy cast. What I have found for me is that I mix them. So I'll mix this one with this, or basically I'll use any of these and mix it with this to get this nice deeper color, but with a touch of pink flush to it. That's what I've done today. I mixed this one and this one, I believe, to get today's blush. It's a decent palette. So I'll use the color petal as a mixer with the others to get the various tones. To get various tones of mauve, which is what I prefer for my blush. It's got nice pigment. It's buildable. I'm not mad at it, but I will say it's not a favorite. I do find the pigment. I have a NYX Sweet Cheeks blush palette that I think has better pigment than this. That's not to say this is terrible. I'm just saying, like with the NYX one, I have to be careful because if I brush on too much, I will look like a clown. You can do that with this. It just takes a little bit more product to do so. It does blend well. They're very nice colors, like I said, when I mix them. And I can use some of the browns, some of the more browny colors by themselves if I want. This one here would be more of a contour shade or something that I would use make a little bit from with the pink for the summer. It's not a winter shade for me really. So, but beyond that, it's a decent palette. It's okay. I'm not mad at it. I'm not absolutely thrilled by it, but I'm not mad at it. It's not bad. If you like Seraphine Botanicals, you probably would be very happy with this palette. So next is this Bella and Argent. Yes, I'm probably totally butchering the pronunciation. Bella and Argent. Artur Cream Lip Color. This is called Smoking on Screen. I am wearing it today. You would think that it's a much darker berry. It's actually more on the pink side than berry, and it's coming up even brighter in my screen. But I am wearing it today. It works really well with my e.l.f. lip oil, which is a similar color but darker and not nearly as pink. So I do like it. It is very creamy. It is got enough pigment. It seems to last well. It doesn't move around a lot. It doesn't last when you eat with it, but it's a cream color. So it's not going to, it's not matte. It's not intended to actually just stick to your lips, so to speak. But I do like it, and I will be keeping it. I know what the cost of these are. I wouldn't pay the cost of these. I've looked into this brand before because I've gotten a sample from my smaller Ipsy bag, I believe. And when I went to look at the full sizes, I went, oh, hell no. There are good lipsticks you can get that are nice and creamy that are not the price of these. The packaging is gorgeous, which I suspect is part of what you're paying for. I do love the packaging. It is plastic, but it is really beautiful packaging. I will say that. This is something that you would put out on your vanity to show off, even after the lipstick is gone. But I don't like paying for gorgeous packaging over and above the product, to be honest with you. I think it's plastic. They probably could do pretty packaging like this and still have the lipstick be a bit cheaper. I'm sorry. I'd have to look up the price. I just remember looking and going, oh no, we'll never buy that one. But I do like it. If you don't mind paying, you know, $20, $30 for lipstick, then this is a brand you may want to look into. It is cream. Like I said, it's not one of their mattes. I've tried their mattes. Their mattes do stay. But I wouldn't repurchase this. All right. So the next item, I haven't used the whole thing. And I say that because it's basically two parts. I did use part of it. I did not use the other part today. And that is this Trestique Good Vibes Mascara. I still haven't figured out how to open the thing to get the lash curler out, which is just fine. I don't use lash curler, so that's no problem. I did think it was going to be awkward using this. It turned out it's not that bad. The brush is nice. The color is nice. The formula is a bit on the wetter side. So overall, this was another surprise for me for last month. I actually do like it. The color is good. The formula is smooth, creamy consistency. I did notice today when I put it on that I was getting some clumps, but they weren't bad and they were very easily taken care of. It builds well. It takes only 2 coats to get the kind of lashes I want. Sometimes 3 if I really want some nice spikes. The brush is really nice too. Gripped well, felt good on the lashes, which sounds strange, but it's kind of like a brush I have. I have that Easy Detangler brush. I never really thought about how a brush would feel. And I stopped using brushes for a while because they're actually not really all that good for your curly hair. My hair's driving me nuts, obviously. Not that good for your curly hair. And with my hair, brushing my hair out tends to turn it into a foof ball, and not necessarily a good foof ball. We're not talking volume. We're talking... it's terrible. Anyway, so... that brush feels, the Easy Detangler feels really good on my scalp. I really like that one. I like the feel of this one on my lashes, which is very, very strange. Now, all of that said, I happen to know I'm getting another mascara. It's the one that everyone's been like yelling about. It's the Thrive, so it's a smaller one. I have at least 2 full sizes already out. I'm not keeping this. I'm going to be giving this to my oldest, and hopefully she will really like it. But that's just because it is a full-size mascara, and I'm working on 2 others that I'm trying to... one that I'm getting ready to review, and another one that I'm trying to get used up. I think I have to use it up by the end of March, so I don't have to throw away. But that's the biggest problem with me with these full-size mascaras, is I never use them up in time. And we get one every other month from one box or another. So... I like it. I really do. I was really surprised, but I will not use it in time. So it's going to go to my daughter. It's a really good mascara. If it wasn't Trestique and therefore like a $20 or $30 mascara, it's probably about $20. A $20 mascara, I probably would repurchase it when I got rid of stuff, but no. I'm not keeping it. I recommend it if you're interested in a really good mascara. It's a nice mascara. So I have to say that November was the month of surprises. I have this Murad Skin Perfecting Lotion, and as I recall when I opened it, because this is a acne Anti-acne? Lightweight, oil-free moisturizer provides shine-free hydration for blemish-prone skin. So, I don't know if it's actually supposed to help with blemishes, but I found it actually helps. But I think when I opened this, I said, okay, it's supposed to be an anti-acne type thing, so it'll probably go to my daughter. This ended up being a really surprise for me since it's really lightweight. I can actually use it as a serum. I'm serious. It has the texture and the consistency of maybe a heavier serum rather than what I'm used to seeing for most moisturizers. So that's what that looks like. Focus on the hand. Focus on the hand. It doesn't want to focus on the hand. But anyway, that's what that looks like. It blends out beautifully. I just need that little bit. And I can use it in spots where I'm having a breakout. And I noticed using it in conjunction with my anti-acne serum from Mario Badescu that for some reason, I'm actually pretty sure it was another serum that gave me, I ended up with a really massive breakout right in here. And my serum just wasn't, my anti-acne serum just wasn't cutting it. I used that and this, and it went away very, very quickly. I don't like the smell of it, and it doesn't really give my skin much moisture, which is good since I do a layering effect when I'm using my products for my skin. If it did add moisture, I would end up being really oily, but it works. So I'm actually going to keep this because it's helping with what little acne I get. Now, I tell you guys, I do not get a lot. As a kid, I used to get quite a bit of acne. I do not get a lot of acne now. Most of the time when I do get acne, it's because something triggered it. There was some sort of reaction to something. Not always. Even after menopause, you can experience breakouts. You still have hormones, things going on. Just not as extreme as what happens when you have a cycle. And so I still occasionally get other types of breakout, just very, very rarely. My most consistent thing is when I get melia in here. And lately I haven't even had that going on. So I'm not happy. I'm really happy with that. I don't think this stopped the melia, but it has helped with other breakouts that I've had. So sorry, Sunday. Your mama keeping it. So next is the Gigi Gorgeous Bronzer Duo. Now, when I opened this, I think I mentioned that I was going to have trouble with this side because it's practically my skin tone, but that gave me an idea and I did find a use for it. A lot of people have complained about this particular bronzer, and this they complain about all of the collabs anyway, but this one they just I don't get it. This packaging is beautiful. It is very sturdy plastic. This is gorgeous and classy. It's got a mirror in it. It's got, I mean, it's a gorgeous packaging, first of all. Second of all, this does not work well with a soft brush, but it worked very well with a boxy brush. In fact, this is one of the ones that's sort of in the middle. Does not work well with the soft brush, works well with a firmer brush. With the boxy brush, I actually have to go over my cheeks again with the powder brush, like I've mentioned before, to tone things down. So this color, I was afraid wouldn't show up, but I did use it today. It does show up. It just isn't a really deep contour. It's just, it just gives me a slight, it gives me that same contour, just less, with less depth and darkness to it, if that makes sense. So I'm not chiseled, but I do look like my cheeks go in a little bit there, and it does thin out my face. As for this color, it's a good color for fixing under my eyes when my eyes are being really cantankerous and argumentative and watering and all of the stuff that they do sometimes. So this is actually a very good quote unquote repair under my eye shade. It does not bring up any texture. It matches my skin tone. It matches the foundation and the, you know, I use a banana powder and stuff to brighten it. It matches that well enough that, guys, I used it today. I don't think anybody would say that my eyes look darker or terrible underneath, or at least no more terrible than usual. So my suggestion is, if you have this, is use a denser, stiffer bristled brush for the darker color, and it should come up. When it does come up, it looks nice. There's no patchiness. It just needs a little bit of building sometimes. The last couple times I've used it, I haven't even needed to do that. I'm kind of losing my summer. I should be pretty much done with my summer color now. So that might be part of it right there. By the same token, even if it didn't show up as well, I would say it was a skin tone thing. Because it is, like I said, it's a lighter color. It doesn't give me that dark chisel. It just gives me a bit of a shadow in there. It's not, I agree that in terms of the formula, it's not the best. It's not, I don't know. It's not Anastasia Beverly Hills quality. I don't know if they have any bronzers, but it is not that level of quality. It is not, but I would say it's pretty comparable to, say, ColourPop. It's really got some good color. It's not the worst. I've had the worst. I had the worst the month before that. That palette they sent from Love Whatever was patchy, and yeah, it was terrible. Very red too. So I actually really enjoyed this. So both of my big boxes actually really impressed me last month. Boxycharm wins just by a little bit, but mostly because of that serum. And as I recall, when I opened them, I thought, I'm not too sure about most of this stuff. I'm really impressed. I'm very, very happy with what I got. And like I said, I do think Boxycharm actually won last month, but you all can let me know down below which one you think did it. Alrighty, so we're going to get to the last of our boxes for the month, and that is the regular Glam Bag, the one from the Mother-Daughter Battle. This one I will be continuing. If you guys want reviews of these in the future, please let me know down below. But do be aware that me reviewing this at the beginning of the battles will make those videos a bit longer. And they already run around 25 to 30 minutes. So you have to let me know if that's something you want, or if we can just skip reviewing the bag entirely and just have the battle and have that kind of fun. First, we have this Verso Hydration Serum with niacinamide. Niacinamide? I don't know. Anyway, this is actually a really nice serum in a lot of ways. It definitely added moisture to my skin, but the price is way out of my budget, just like the Kypris is out of my budget. This is out of my budget too. This is insanely expensive too. And it apparently breaks me out. Like I said, when I used the Murad, I was having a horrible breakout. I suspect this because I took this out of my, the rotation, and I've been using some other new things with it, you know, at some point, and the breakout stopped. So yeah, apparently breaks me out. I have 2 other serums open, both that I like better and don't mess with my skin. So this is going to go to my oldest. If it doesn't break you out, it is a nice serum. It's very light. It goes and it melds in and all that other stuff. It's just, for me, this is a no. This is going to go to my daughter along with the mascara from the Plus, or wherever it came from. I just won't keep using something that's going to break me out like that. So like I said, I've got 2 others. I've got the Kypris. I've got Air Repair. Those 2 make me very, very happy. They both go over the skin very nicely. This one goes over the skin very nicely. They absorb very nice. This also absorbs very nicely. It's just this one breaks me out and they don't. So we're going to stick with the stuff that does not break us out. So next is the Gigi Gorgeous Powder. This is, again, it's got very nice packaging. It has a little bit of a mirror. I don't think the mirror's got much of a point. You're just going to fluff it over your face. It is a pressed powder. It has a slight yellowish cast, which I kind of like in my powders because white powders lighten me up way too much, whereas this one would work. However, this is not the best setting powder. It didn't really set down my foundation in a few places, and it needed help. And in the photos, I could see it did lighten up my foundation a bit. I actually considered doing with this what I've done with a powder foundation that I have from NYX and breaking it up and trying it that way. But honestly, I don't need it. I have at least 4 other powders already. So this is going to go to Project Beauty Share unless my daughter wants it. But at this point, I'm going to put it in the Project Beauty Share box. I've tried other pressed powders too that are supposed to be like setting powders or finishing powders. I tried one from Ofra. Same problem. I think it's the fact that it's pressed. You can't pick up enough to really set your makeup with it. So yeah, this is going to just go to Project Beauty Share. Not impressed with it at all. So the next is the IT Confidence in a Cream. And I do believe when I opened this, I said that, ooh, I like that. I'm not going to bother to open it. It's not the same thing. It's not the one I like. The one I like is actually got a sticky. It's the super, what is it? What is it? The secret sauce. There we go. The one that I really liked was the secret sauce, which has a stickier texture to it than this one. This cream isn't bad, but it feels greasier on my skin. And I really like the secret sauce, but wouldn't buy it because of the price. This cream is okay, but doesn't sink into my skin as well, or as well as either the secret sauce or one other moisturizer that I've started using that I really like. I'll use this up, but I'm not interested in purchasing the full size. Yeah, to me, this was... It's not bad in terms of being a moisturizer. In fact, I may end up giving this to my daughter too. Although for her, it may not be a good fit because she has acne problems. But it needs to go somewhere. Anyway, it's just, to me, it feels greasy. It feels very, very greasy on the skin and not so much moisturizing. Yeah, I don't know. Something about it just doesn't quite work for me. So... not another one I'm not inclined to keep. I'll probably give it, I can give it to one of my other girls who has a bunch of stuff here that I'm waiting for her to pick up. So I was thinking about using it up, but I have other stuff that works better on my skin and doesn't make it feel oily. I will say, out of all of the bags that I got last month, my regular Ipsy bag was the biggest disappointment. Next we have the Moda Pro Glow Brush. Of course I like it. Do I even need to say more? I did use it today to do my stuff today for my glow. So, but yes, of course I like it and I'm going to keep it. So, simple. It's going with the rest of my Moda Pro brushes because I like Moda Pro brushes. Honestly, think they're one of the most underrated brush companies around. And last but not least is the Benefit Mary Dew Manizer Liquid Highlighter. No. I did try it a time or two, but I'm not into liquid highlighters over my powders and stuff. I find the powders easier to control. I find that it doesn't spread as easily as a powder. The glow is beautiful, but that's about it. So this is also going to go to my daughter, one of my daughters, who will enjoy it. So that was my bags for last month. Like I said, I really think that Boxy came out in front for me. The Glam Bag Plus was not very far behind, and I really think it was the Kypress that really did it for me for the Boxycharm. Although the palette is beautiful, the lipstick's really good. So there were quite a few things in there that made me very, very happy. And then in the end, my sample bag just wasn't that impressive for November. I'm really hoping that the new one is better. I'm telling you guys, like I said, I'm going to be canceling the Plus and the Boxycharm because of finances. But I'm nervous about it. But if I were to keep either of them at this point, it would probably be the Boxycharm. I've had fewer disappointments in the Boxycharm. I just can't afford it right now. It's going to have to wait. And besides, I have so much stuff, I have almost no more room. So we'll just go with that. Anyway, that is it for the day, and I hope you like what you've seen. And if you do like what you've seen, I hope you will subscribe if you're not subscribed. If you subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when I upload. I am currently, for December, I am uploading Monday, Wednesday, and Friday as long as I can. The last week around Christmas time, we may not get all 3 videos. Starting in January, it will be Monday and Friday only. So we'll be going down to 2 days a week, just to let y'all know. We still have bonus videos. My son still has his My Geek Box coming in every month. And when I can, I do my indie brands. We're still going to try to do that. Not going to happen until after Christmas. We got to get... Probably won't start till February, March. Actually, that's a lie. I've ordered one because it was available and I was afraid it was going to sell out. So, already started on next year's indie brands. So, we'll do an unboxing at some point. Anyway, those unboxings. Plus, in the summer, I do garden videos if we manage to get through the next year. I haven't decided what's going on and if we're even going to do a garden next year. We've had so many garden problems. But if we do a garden video, if we do a garden, we will do videos. I swear I can talk. I'm having a day. Anyway, I'm going to stop now. If you are one of my notification subscribers, if you're one of my subscribers, you may want to check both your bell and your subscription to make sure they're both still active, though you probably don't have to do that. And if you choose not to subscribe after all of this, I wouldn't blame you. God, I can talk. I swear I can talk. Look at my other videos. Don't go too far back, but look at my other videos and you'll find out I can talk. But if you choose not to subscribe, you're always welcome back. I'm going to get this done now so we can get out of here. If you do come back, don't forget to bring your cup of tea. You're always welcome here. Let's give this another sip. Oh, Lord. Let's get moving. You can get the lemon and the peach in there work really, really well together. It's beautiful. This is a really, really good tea. If you can get a hold of it, and I think I'll have a link for it down below, but if you can get a hold of the tea, this is a really nice tea. Don't put it in one of the metal steepers though. Some of it comes out. It's a chunky tea, but it has smaller pieces that will come out of that steamer. Anyway, that's it for the day. I hope you have a good one. Bye.